She cries out as she gives birth, while being threatened by an angry, red, seven-headed dragon. And it's interesting that it's a red dragon, because then this, for me, points to a symbol that it's the old world. Or could it be a massive global disclosure event where every single human on this planet is presented with undeniable evidence that non-human beings exist? In my previous video, I spoke about a prophecy made by a man named Chris Bledsoe, and he said that around Easter time 2026, there will be a discovery of a new knowledge that will change our past, present, and future. And I've been thinking, what knowledge could possibly be that impactful? What knowledge has the potential to dismantle the old structures that are so firmly in place? So I decided to use one of the new tools that I've been learning since I started to embark on a journey to open up and access my psychic and clairvoyant abilities that we can all do, by the way. And this tool that I've been learning is called the pendulum. And for my pendulum readings, I made myself a cute little pendulum board that has the letters of the alphabet on it. So when I do a pendulum reading, I can ask a question and get an answer. And during the same time as I started to ask myself, what could possibly be this knowledge that is going to be discovered? At the same time, I was getting like an intuitive push, a little nudge towards a strong feminine figure, and one that I knew very little about. And this was Mary Magdalene. And when I did my research and found out who she was, wow, I couldn't believe that I did not know this before. So let's take a look at who Mary Magdalene is. Okay, so let's take a look at what the Bible decided to say about Mary Magdalene. Her main appearances were that she was present at the crucifixion of Jesus, also at the burial, and then she was the first to arrive at the empty tomb and witness the resurrection of Jesus. But the Bible also says that when Jesus first met Mary, she was a prostitute, and Jesus cast out 7 demons out of her, and then she was cured, and then forever was labeled the penitent prostitute and was devoted to Jesus. But the truth is, this was a load of BS orchestrated by a bunch of men who wanted to uphold the patriarchy and erase Mary Magdalene's true identity and strip her of the influential position she held beside Jesus and the other disciples. After the crucifixion of Jesus, it was very dangerous for Mary Magdalene, so she got on a boat and fled to the south of France. And in things like the Gnostic tradition, they say that Mary Magdalene, instead of seeking refuge in the church, she decided to remain independent. She continued teaching, healing, and developing her gifts. The wisdom she carried and the principles spoken in the Gospel of Mary Magdalene feels very similar to what we now see in this current spiritual community. For example, like using the understanding that divine power isn't something we search on the outside of us. She taught that the divine power lives within us. And through meditation and love and presence and heart-based awareness, then the more vast and expansive our connection to the divine and to everything becomes. To me, Mary Magdalene feels rebellious and powerful in the most beautiful, sacred, feminine way. She was intelligent, influential, powerful, a woman to be admired, and a woman who refused to be contained in the pursuit of her own truth. Okay, now that we know who Mary Magdalene is, let's take a look at what came through on the pendulum reading. The first words that I got were water and purple. And the way I understood these two words were water, especially when we look at tarot, often indicates emotions and feminine flow. And then purple is associated with a priestess or royal bloodlines. So, of course, yes, Queen. And what came next was very surprising to me and a little puzzling because I actually know very little about the Bible. I grew up in New Zealand and they don't teach it at school. My parents were not religious and I never went to church. So I have very little knowledge about the Bible. But what came through was Revelation number 12. And I thought to myself, okay, I think this is something to do with the Bible. So, I wonder what this could possibly be. And when I think about my question, how should I refer to you? And she gave me Revelation number 12. When I looked it up, my mind was officially blown, for this is the only revelation that has a central female figure with divine purpose. So let's take a look at what Revelation number 12 is all about. This is a simplified version of Revelation 12, which speaks of a woman clothed in the sun, standing on the moon, and crowned with 12 stars. She cries out as she gives birth while being threatened by an angry, red, seven-headed dragon. The dragon attempts to destroy that which is being born. But the birth, it cannot be stopped, and the child is protected. The woman flees, and the dragon releases a flood to overwhelm her, and the earth intervenes by absorbing the flood and saving her and that which has been born. So I want to take a moment to just pause and think back to the original question that I asked that started this whole journey. My question was, what could possibly be this hidden knowledge that is going to be discovered that has the potential to shake or dismantle the old structures that are currently in place? And when Mary Magdalene pointed me towards Revelation number 12, and I thought about this question compared with all of the symbols in this revelation, some of the pieces of this puzzle started to click into place. So let's take a look. All right, let's unpack it, because the way I look at it, Revelation 12 is like a mirror to what is happening in our world right now. And this main central figure is this feminine force that I spoke about in my last video on my channel. You can take a look at the link below if you haven't seen it already. It's also a good time to like and subscribe my channel. Thank you. And so this central female figure is the lady from Chris Bledsoe's prophecy. And she is about to give birth. And she is birthing this new knowledge. And then there's the dragon who knows the threat. If this knowledge is born, it has to rear its ugly, angry head. And it's interesting that it's a red dragon, because then this, for me, points to a symbol that it's the old world and the rampant epidemic of red that is taking over US and setting its sight on the rest of the world. And at its core of this dragon is the conservative religious factions clinging to a system that feeds off fear and suppression in order to dominate the masses. And they're creating this war because they are threatened. So the question is, what are they threatened by? What could this knowledge be? Could it be the possible discovery of a free energy grid lying beneath the pyramids of Giza? If we had free energy, that would put an end to the war over oil and fossil fuels immediately. Could it be the discovery of the Ark of Covenant, bringing the collapse of the church after revealing the truth of our origins and our ancient ancestry? Or could it be a massive global disclosure event where every single human on this planet is presented with undeniable evidence that non-human beings exist, not only in our universe, but right here on Earth? Any of those things, or maybe even all three of those things, would cause an almighty hit and shake those old structures that have been held so firmly in place for centuries. And quite frankly, it's time for them to go and make way for a whole new world and way of thinking. And what we have to do in these turbulent times that we are currently faced with is always remember that dragon cannot destroy that which is untouchable, that which is divine in each and every one of us. And this is the greatest weapon we have. As the dragon towers over us, it tries to make us feel small and scared. It tries to make us feel powerless. But this is not true. We stay firmly grounded, with feet on the moon, bathed in the sun. We are the light. We are the power. And when our collective awareness, when the collective consciousness taps into the power of Revelation 12 and the feminine force within this story, we open up a channel for her to come in and reveal this knowledge that is going to shake those old structures that the dragon is desperate to hang on to. Let's shatter those old stories to make way for the new one, the new world, the new thinking that is bright and full of love. And the session didn't end there. Actually, the best part is yet to come, because Mary Magdalene gave me even more information. It was like a map that talked about the Anunnaki, people waking up their dormant abilities, a rebellion. So please stay with me on this adventure, because it only gets more exciting from here. We'll see you for the next one.